All right, Doom Vivamus Vivamus Epicureans. This is the Marvel Epic Collection Podcast One-Shot Edition. I'm your host, Nick Smith, and I'm joined by...
Stojr from Stojr Shop. How's it going, Nick?
Doing well, thank you, Stojr. Particularly since we're participating in Kurtis Findlay's Epic Marvel Podcast Reading Club, and this one-shot is going to be our brief thoughts on today's issue, which is X-Men number 100. There we go, I actually have the comic issue up this time. Okay, this one is called Greater Love Hath No X-Man. Dave Cockrum takes full credits on the art this time. Alright, so the old X-Men that appeared at the end of the previous issue, well, they just turn out to be fancy Sentinels that Dr. Lane had created from designs left over by Larry Trask. Well, the X-Men succeed in trashing them, because of course they do. They defeat Lane, but then they are left with the problem of how the heck are they going to get back to the Earth in a shuttlecraft that has a gaping hole in it. And there also seems to be some mysterious solar flare that's heading their way. Well, Jean Grey decides that she's going to pilot it, taking the memories from, who was it, Dr. Corbeau, I think, who piloted on the way up there to begin with. She's going to take his memories, figure out how to do it, and plug up the hole, while the rest of the X-Men hitch ride inside of the shuttle's shielded life cell. All right, Stojr, what are your thoughts?
So, look, X-Men versus X-Men. It's nice, fun, beat 'em up stuff. Love it. Try not to think about it too hard. I don't know how the Sentinels are mimicking their powers. Not really sure how that works at all. But does it really matter if you have the Beast fighting Nightcrawler, and Iceman fighting Wolverine and things like that? I mean, keep in mind, we're what, 5 issues in from the new X-Men being revealed, and, we need to see them in battles fighting. Great. Again, Havoc versus Colossus. How is he, invoking that sort of power? But this stuff is a lot of fun in the first half of the book, and then you get the big reveal with Wolverine sniffing out that these are robots, cutting into Jean, and revealing that the real Scott, the real Jean, and I guess Corbeau are locked away. This issue, like the second half of this issue, has been invoked in a lot of other media over time, right? So anytime they're going to talk about the Phoenix Saga, they're going to, have the X-Men up in space, struggling to get home in a broken ship. What are you going to do? Over the years, we've seen that in the comics multiple times too, especially with Wolverine and Jean, right? So this idea of Jean's the only one that can kind of keep things together. Wolverine 75, after Wolverine got all of his adamantium taken out by Magneto. They're flying back to Earth in the Blackbird. It's falling apart. Who keeps it together? Jean. She almost falls out. Wolverine saves her. You have the new X-Men era where they're lost in space. They're about to crash into the sun. The Phoenix comes back, after Wolverine kills Jean, to get them back into time for that big finale around that Planet X time frame. And I'm sure there's multiple instances of that I'm not even remembering, right? Mm-hmm. Basically, the moral of the story here is do not go into space with the X-Men unless you have Jean Grey to help you get home, because your ship's going to be broke and messed up.
I feel like it's almost a trope. Yeah, I feel like it's almost a trope. You don't want to get into a plane with the X-Men anyway, because their planes always crash half the time in the Savage Land.
That is true. But I love the relationship building here with Storm and Jean. I think that continues throughout a lot of books. I know they touch on that in X-Men Classic. This has got a great final page. It's almost Kirby-esque with like the Kirby crackles, but they're not Kirby crackles. It's more of like a psychedelic kind of painting kind of look here. And that sort of tech sound that it ends the issue with really invokes like it really ups the ante at like what's going to happen here. And keep in mind, we just killed an X-Man a couple issues ago. Who's to say that Jean's not going to be dead at the beginning of the next issue? Like there's no reason to think otherwise.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
what about you?
Yeah, I definitely wanted to touch on that sound effect. I've got that final page up there on the screen now. Clearly, being hit by the solar flare and that sound mimicking the sound of the cosmic rays that created the Fantastic Four. That clearly was intentional, right? Because it's the same sound effect, right?
I'm pretty. I think so. But while you're talking, I'm going to check.
Okay, yeah, I'm fairly certain it is the tack. Anyway, honestly, I think it's a little early to have the new X-Men versus the old X-Men fight, but I get it. This is issue 100. They have to do something for a centennial issue. So, all right, fine. I like that we get the first hints of Wolverine's animal instincts with this. As Stojr said, he susses out that the old X-Men are actually just robots. Also, shout out to the first Fastball special, which is on page 159. Let me see if I can pull that up on my comic screen here.
Yeah, while you're bringing that up, I couldn't quickly confirm that. I know the Fantastic Four origin's been retold 1,000 times over the course of their books, but apparently they're not. It's not in the first issue. So,
Oh, really?
Or it's not. Well, I mean, I'm sure it's there on like a couple panels, but it's not like it starts the movie where the whole issue's about that. So I have to flip through the book and find the panels it's on. It's more of a flashback.
All right. Well, no worries. So yeah, I think first Fastball special I've got there. One other thing I noticed. This is an unfortunate thing with the Epic format. Let me pull it up. Here we go. The double page spread on page 164 to 165. We lose a little bit of art in the gutter, which is unfortunate. I haven't had a lot of instances in the Epic format where we get a terrible loss of art like this. This was one instance where I think it kind of let us down, that the character Dr. Lane in the middle we just lose a lot of him. I don't think, at least in my physical version, that we lost a lot of the words, the caption. So that's at least something.
The words are there, but you're right. I mean, like, he looks odd because the whole middle of his face is missing, his nose and stuff.
You just have a little lump of hair there at the top in the physical book. It looks a little bit better on the digital version, but a little bit wonky there still nonetheless. But, otherwise, it's a product of the format. It's, what are you going to do? All right.
And as soon as I said I couldn't find it, I opened the Fantastic Four again, and you're right, it's right there.
Okay, so is it that same sound, the tack, 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 or?
Yep.
All right, there we go. So yeah, clearly intentional, right? All right. Well, I think that is all we have for this episode. Stojr, any final thoughts?
I mean, I'm interested to see how the Jean's going to get out of this one. I mean, is she going to die, or is she going to rise from the dead somehow?
Yeah, clearly. How we have no idea what's going to happen, right? Of course, people at the time wouldn't, but we all know this starts a whole nother trope, right? All right, well, if you guys have enjoyed our thoughts, follow us on YouTube, where we are going to read, rate, and review a full Epic Collection trade paperback every other week. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll have another one of these episodes next time.